I made this window panel into a floral arrangement. My name is Rocio from Chios Wreaths, and if you want to learn how to make it, keep watching. For today's supplies, I'm going to be using this window panel. It's a beautiful teal color window panel. It has an arch on it, and I got it from Hobby Lobby. It has on the back two little hangers. I got it at Hobby Lobby, like I was saying, at I believe $14.99. I'm not sure what was the original price because it was on top of the original tag. We're also going to be using this foam. This is a new foam shape that I found at the Dollar Tree. It measures 10.6 inches by 2.9 inches, and the width is 1.4 inches. And this is new to the Dollar Tree. I hadn't seen it before. For our ribbon, we're going to use this black and white stripe ribbon, horizontal stripe ribbon, and this beautiful deluxe ribbon. This ribbon is amazing, you guys. You have no clue how much I love it. It's a hot pink or fuchsia color. And as you can see, the pattern is amazing. That's a double-sided ribbon. We're also going to be using this as my greenery. I believe it's called white lavender, and I got it. It's an ashland brown, so I got it at Michael's. For my floral, I'm going to be using this beautiful dark pink peony that I also got at Michael's. When I got these flowers, they were, I believe, 50 to 60% off, depending on the bush that you will get. And I'm also not going to be using this beautiful red flower that I can't remember what's the name of it, but it's beautiful. It's like a bright red, and there's going to be a combination with the pink peony, the dark pink peony. It looks almost like purple. Also, we're going to be adding this small peony, white to cream color, and this is also from Michael's. We're going to be using some zip ties for our bow as well as to secure the foam to my window pane. I'm going to start with the foam, attaching the foam to the window frame. And I don't know why I'm trying to cut it with the butter knife, but I decided to use the scissors, which was the right choice. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to find the space that I want to attach it to, and I'm going to cut it at an angle. I'm going to use my butter knife to cut it since I don't need a lot of sharpness to it. And right here, I'm just going to eyeball where I want it. So I'm going to want the longest part facing up or vertically, and I'm going to want the shorter side to face horizontally on the bottom of my window panel. So I'm going to go ahead and trace a angle to it with the pen. I don't know why a pen if it didn't show up, but it did give me a little score line. So I'm just trying to measure here how I want it. So let's bring this window panel to the side for a little bit so I can go ahead and make the cut. So on an angle, I'm going to insert, okay, let me put this on the side again because it's on my way. Let me go ahead and cut it in an angle all the way through, and it really doesn't take a lot of force to do this. Okay, now we're going to attach the longer side. I'm just trying to find the actual way, the correct way, and that's the wrong way, obviously, because I want the longest one to be vertically facing up. So I decided to switch it around, and there we go. That's actually the angle that I want. Once you have determined where you want it, I'm going to go ahead and bring my glue gun closer to me. And as you can see, I do have a disaster on my table, guys. You should see the back of me. It's a total mess. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start with some hot glue. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball where I wanted to start. And I'm going to put some hot glue on the tallest part of the window frame, that's the one that is going to be touching. If I do it on any other side, it's not going to be touching the foam. So I'm just going to hold it for a little bit there. And that's just the first or the initial part, because this will not hold for too long if I just do hot glue. So once I see that it's starting to set a little bit, I'm going to grab my second piece and I'm going to do the same thing. Put some hot glue. Remember, that will be on the highest part of my window pane. And we're going to put the piece of foam and we're going to wait a little bit. We want to wait a little bit, and I'm going to actually put it on the side in the meantime. And meanwhile, I'm waiting for that foam to set with the hot glue. I'm gonna go make my bow. It's bow time, guys. Yes, it is. So let me start with the 2.5 inch deluxe chinoiserie style ribbon that I have. I know it's not the traditional white and blue color, but they've been making this in different colors like orange, black and white. So let me go ahead and start just saying that this one has a beautiful backing. So instead of making an angle cut or a dovetail, I'm actually going to fold in and to be able to see the beautiful part that it's on the back. So let me go ahead and speed up the bow just because it does take me a little bit and I don't want to entertain you here forever. But when you make a bow, remember the technique is to lay down your bow facing up your tail and then make sure that when you're bringing down the loop, it's facing the right side. Okay, so I'm just checking there that that's the size of the loops that I want. And as you can see, I'm cutting one of the tails shorter than the other one because that's an asymmetrical look that I'm looking for. Yes, it's on purpose, guys. So let me go ahead and make the other two loops. I mean, four loops, I'm sorry, because I'm going to make four loops of the stripe one. But that's just to start with because I did decided at the end to add two more loops. As you can see right now, I'm going to be adding my fifth loop, but I am going to make it a smaller loop. So I started at 5.5, then I went down to 4.5, and this one is going to be a 4 inch loop. So 2 inch loops of 4 inches, and those ones are going to go in the middle of my already existing 4.5 inches black and white stripe ribbon. So remember, always twist when you're doing your loops, and we're going to cut the tail. And remember, this tail is longer on the left side than on the right side because I am going for an asymmetrical look on my bow here, guys. Oh, and by the way, I'm making this floral arrangement for my mom for Mother's Day. So I couldn't take a picture or anything of it after making this because I had it on the garage. I was waiting for it to be Mother's Day to give it to her. And she finally got it. So now I'm able to finish the recording of this video. But let me tell you, right here, I'm going to do a single loop just to bring that pink ribbon up to my bow, forward to my bow. So I'm making a smaller tail as you can see, and I'm actually, instead of, like I was saying, I'm not dovetailing it, I'm actually just gonna fold it on itself. So I decided to fold it before cutting it or deciding what was the size of the tail, just because when I'm folding it, it's gonna make it smaller. So I'm gonna make another tail for the top, and right here, I'm just eyeballing what I'm doing, guys. Because if it's too long, I can go ahead and make it shorter by cutting it. But if I cut it too short, well, obviously, there's nothing else that I can do to add any length. So I'm just eyeballing it right now and see, and making it the same actually size of the bottom tail. And again, we can go ahead and trim it later if necessary. So once I completed the making of the bow, I'm going to show you the final part of making a bow, which to me, it was a hard thing to learn. But with time, I was able to overcome that little mistakes that I was making all the time. So instead of using a pipe cleaner, I'm going to be using this bind wire, which I believe is a 2 millimeter. I'm not 100% sure what gauge is it, to be honest with you. I saw it on Amazon, but it didn't say the gauge. So, I believe that's the size is a thin one. And I'm trying to read it on the label, but it really doesn't say. So that's what I remember, a 2 millimeter. So I'm going to double it just because this wire is too thin. I do have another one, but it's too thick. So I didn't want the thicker one. So I'm just going to, double it and making a few twists just so it keeps a little bit together. And once I do that, I'm going to put it underneath my bow, in between my loops and my tails. Remember, don't leave any tail behind, guys. Bringing up my wire just so I can see that it's even as much as I can. I'm going to press on my bow, always press down and put my zip tie. Okay. So one side of the zip tie has to be on the opposite side of my band wire. Otherwise, it's not going to catch the band wire. As you can see, one side is on the left side and the other one is on the right side of my zip tie. And once I have that secure there, I'm going to do a few clicks. I don't want to do it all the way yet. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my zip tight gun. I finally got another one, guys, because I know I was complaining about the other one saying that it didn't cut as flush as I wanted. So I think it was effective because this one is pretty good. So thank you so much for recommending me that one. So I'm going to bring my bow up and I'm going to do a few more clicks on my zip tie, but not all the way. I'm also going to fetch my bind wire through my hand, which is giving me a hard time at the moment. So I can bring it all the way to the back of my bow. And with that, I'm going to help myself center my zip tie on the back. Also, make sure that your zip tie, like I was saying, is center on the back, but also on the front of your bow because it's on an angle when you put it underneath on your bow maker. So just make sure that it's all center. Otherwise, your loops are going to be uneven. By the way, I'm using the Easy Bow Maker, and I tried different bow makers, and I think this is the most comfortable for me. Which bow maker do you use? Can you let me know in the comments? I would like to know. Okay, so right here, I'm just measuring my loops, making sure they're even before I do my final zip tie click. Okay, so they look even. Good, even on the bind wires as well. And now I'm gonna be grabbing my zip tie gun. Press your ball. Well, what I do is I press it against the table because I feel like the ribbons start getting shifted when you fasten your zip tie a little bit more. So that's my technique. If that happens to you, I recommend you to do that. Okay, so we already cut our zip tie and it's time to fluff the bow. Well, first I'm gonna make sure that my tails are facing the right way. We also have to do a few twists on our pipe cleaner or wire that you're using just so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, now let's go ahead and fix my tails. Make sure that they're facing the right way, that they're not pulling too much to the center or to the sides, as well as my extra loop on the top, my extra tail. And now it's time to fluff. You know, when you fluff, for me, it takes forever. So I just decided to speed it up because otherwise we can be here another 15 minutes fluffing the bow. So let's avoid that, guys. Okay, so I'm going to cut my tails for my black and white stripe ribbon. And once I fluff my bow, I'm going to put it to the side and I'm going to go ahead and attach completely my flower foam and to my actual window panel. So I'm going to be using this 12 inches zip ties. And what I want to do is I want to wrap it around and zip tie it very, very tight and make sure that the end of the zip tie where you're cutting it is facing you or even facing the sides, but make sure that you do not put it on the back. One, it's going to scratch the wall or wherever you put it potentially, and two, it's going to create that little extra bump on the back, and it's when you hang it, it's not going to be flush towards your wall or wherever you hang it. So let's go ahead and make sure that those ends that you're going to cut are facing any other place besides the back of our window panel. I'm going to put two zip ties on the top part and two zip ties on the one that goes horizontally on the bottom. And as you can see, this is how it's going to look. And for now, don't worry. For now, it's going to look like that, but don't worry. We're going to go ahead and cover it. And these little hangers were just bothering me because they kept lifting. So I just put two pieces of painter's tape for now so they stay put. Okay, let me tell you a little secret. I don't do this floral arrangements too much. I haven't done it. I don't have a lot of experience. So what you're seeing right here is just me winging it off. Like I'm really improvising what I'm doing in reality. I do have a plan, I have an idea in my head. I can vision it, but do I really know what I'm doing this time? No, I'm doing it for the first time. So, it's chaos and I love it. And that's how you learn, just trying and experimenting with new things. So don't be scared of experimenting. Don't say, oh, I've never done that before. I'm not sure, or I'm just winging it off. Guys, it's okay. That's creativity. Okay, so we're gonna bring our bow to the table, and I'm going to feed it through the the window panel, and you see like there's little cuts. So I'm going to feed it through the closest to my floral foam, and the other side is going to go on the corner of my frame. And so before I turn it around to actually fasten it, I want to make sure that it's on the right position that I want it. And right there, I think it looks good on that angle. It's a big bow, guys, but I really like it. I like how it looks. I want the bow to be the main event and the flowers to complement my bow. So right now I'm just twisting it on the back, and I'm going to face my window panel down. And let me show you that I like to secure my stuff a lot. Maybe it's overdoing it, but I prefer my things to be very secure and not fall one of these days apart. So as you can see, I'm fitting it through the bottom again and twisting it again. So that is creating a double security. As you can see, it's running on the left and running on the right of the corner of my window panel. I feel that way it's not going to move a lot. And just making a few more twists and to make sure that it's secure enough. And then we're going to cut the ends. We're going to twist it a little bit more. And once I feel it's a good size, I'm going to cut the ends with my little snippers. If I can find them, there we go. Alrighty. And what I want to do is just push the excess towards the foam, just so it doesn't scratch me, the window, or my mom, right? Once I secure my bow and I like it where it looks or where it is, I'm going to go ahead and add the flowers. So I'm going to start with this white peonies. There's some small white peonies, and I'm just going to do a dry run. What's a dry run? This is just checking what spots I wanted. And right here, I'm going to insert my first flower. And this is before putting any hot glue or anything to it. You don't have to put hot glue once you insert it, but it's easier to pull it out without putting hot glue on it because it's just inserted. It will hold for sure. So you don't have to use the hot glue, but I do recommend that if you want it to be permanently there. So I'm just cutting my stems shorter. At the beginning, I cut them longer just because I want to make sure that I don't need that extra length. But once I realize I don't, I can go ahead and just cut them shorter. So my two first white flowers, I'm going to put them on the left and on the right side of my bow. So one facing horizontally and one facing vertically, or if you want to call it one facing up and one facing down. And right here, my loop is actually covering my flower, but I'm going to worry about that later, right? That's a problem for future me, not right now. So I like where they are, and I'm going to go ahead and secure them a little bit better by grabbing my hot glue gun. But first, let me put these two silicone mats. They're just, cooking silicone mats, so I can protect my surface from the hot glue that I'm going to be using. And yep, I decided that my tail was too long. So like I told you, I can always trim it shorter, but I can add anything to it for the length. So that's better length for me once that I saw the flowers where I put them. So now instead of grabbing my hot glue skillet, because I do have one, guys, believe it or not, I do have one, but I started this project at 11:30 p.m. Yeah, and I finished it like at 1 a.m. or something like that because my mom was still awake and I didn't want her to see it. And she always likes to see my project, so I was like, "Oh my god, I need to wait for her to go to bed. Otherwise, she's gonna be like, "Oh, what's that? Who is it for? Or whatever, you know?" And I'm like, "No, mom, I don't want you to see it." So it was late, and I didn't want to wait for my hot skillet or my hot glue pot to melt the all the hot glue. So I just decided to grab my regular hot glue gun. And what I do here, and let me show you in a minute how do I secure it with the hot glue. But first, let me fluff my bow, and you're gonna see me fluffing the bow to the entire video because I have to like move it out of the way to put some of the flowers, but then I want to fluff it again to make sure that it's looking how I want to. So yeah, it's a lot of fluffing and a lot of smooshing my ribbon all towards the entire video. So I'm going to face my window on the opposite side just so I can go ahead and secure my second flower. So I already inserted the flower previously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and on that spot that I had already put the flower, I'm going to go ahead and put some glue and then insert it again to the desired length. Now we're gonna move to the next flower, which is the peony. This is, I believe it's called a cabbage peony because it's not fully open. And I'm gonna get rid of that leaf because otherwise it's gonna be too long of a stem and I'm not gonna be able to insert it all the way. So moving my panel again, facing me this way because I want this one to be coming from the bottom towards the right. So, like I said, we're just doing a dry run first to make sure that it's where I like it. And like I was saying, guys, I'm honestly just making it as I go because sometimes this kind of designs, especially if the flower designs, when you do floral arrangements, you have an idea in your head, but sometimes it doesn't come out the same way. So it's a lot of trial and error. But I look how it looks that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and secure it. Again, putting some hot glue. And so you can see it's facing towards the bottom a little bit. So towards the right, towards the bottom. And I'm gonna put another one probably on the top side. That's what I'm thinking right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if it's gonna be good here. And yep, it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert it. We'll find a place to insert it first. Moving my bowl out of the way and seeing how it looks on the other direction for facing the opposite side of the window. But I don't think nope, I don't like it that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and bend the wire a little bit so it's facing more towards me than towards the back or the side. So it's still on an angle. It's still on an angle, but it's still facing a little bit the face or the top, I don't know how to call it, the end. You know what I mean, right? Like it's more looking towards me than looking towards the side. And once I have decided that yes, it looks good where I put it, I'm gonna go ahead and insert it on the foam and do like a final insert on the foam, cutting the extra length of my stem of my flower, and I'm gonna insert it one more time, making sure that it's facing the way that I want to. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the hot glue. So we're going to remove it a little bit. Remember, we push it down. We're going to push it up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and move my leaves out of the way and add some hot glue to it. Yes, hot glue. We're going to be using a lot of hot glue, guys. Just like the grapevine wreaths, everything that has florals, you're going to use a lot of hot glue. So I'm going to face my window panel towards the opposite side so I can go ahead and do the other peony. Making arrangements or this kind of things do require a lot of movement of your frame or your base that you're using. Sometimes I like to use like a Lazy Susan, but this was too big for a Lazy Susan. So I just move it around on my table. And by the way, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mamas out there. This is a great day for you, but actually year round, you are always present in our lives. And we really want to thank you for everything that y'all do for us. My mom was always making sure that she worked really hard to be able to give us what we needed. So I want to thank my mom specifically for being such an amazing mom. Ama, te quiero mucho. Muchas gracias por todos los sacrificios que has hecho por nosotros. Y te queremos mucho. Te amamos mucho. There was a little message for my mom in Spanish. So she knows that I did this with love for her and that we love her a lot. And thank you so much for all her efforts. So let's continue with the design here. I'm going to go ahead and bring the red flowers to my, no, wait, am I going to bring, hold on. No, I think I'm going to bring the white ones. Yeah, because the white ones, I want to frame that pink peony with white because if I put it with the red one next to it, it's going to actually fade away. You're not going to be able to see it. It's going to blend too much. So right here, as you can see, I'm just spinning it up because it's a lot of poking, removing. And as you can see, I'm adding more of the white peonies around, like I was saying, this pink flower to create like a frame and make sure that this beautiful pink peony comes up to the design. You're gonna see me once in a while bringing up my window panel just because I want to vision how it's going to look standing up because, gravity and things can actually face another way once you're standing them up. So I decided to do that towards the design to make sure that, something was not going to fall too much and then that's going to be completely out of my design. So now I'm going to bring this greenery, which I believe it's called a white lavender. It's really pretty, guys. And this is a pusher, which means that all the little stems can be pushed up and they can be closer to each other depending on the design that you want. So we designers or creators really like this kind of stems, this kind of bushes, because they can push up and they can really do different kind of designs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push all my little lavender bulbs of stems, whatever, and just making sure that they're on the desired length that I want. And this is gonna be able to give it more dimension because you can just put flowers and that's fine, but I wanted to give it a little bit of extra length with this stems. And as you can see, it's already given it the extra length towards the middle of the window without covering the window necessarily. And this is also important for texture. You're going to hear a lot of floral designers talking about textures and different dimension of your design. So that's why sometimes you want to go ahead and push things towards the back or maybe towards the front or the middle of your design. So once I like how this part looks, I'm going to go ahead and add more hot glue, bringing up my stem a little bit, and I'm gonna raise this a little bit. I'm gonna put it up so I can put my hot glue. So if you're new to my channel, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I know some people have already left me comments where they're watching from, but if you already had seen my content or are you subscribed to my content, also leave a comment. Where are you watching from? I want to know. I'm actually in Texas, guys, and it's hot. It's already hot. I'm gonna tell you that. And you're probably gonna hear me toward the entire video, not this video, but all the videos complaining about the heat because it gets cruel over here, guys. It gets intense for real. But as you can see, I'm just flipping and moving around so I can go ahead and put my hot glue on the foam. And I'm just standing it up to see how it looks because it's a lot of playing with your design. That's all about. That's what it's all about. Just playing with the design, looking at it in different angles. And sometimes, sometimes I need to step away from my design, even with the wreath. So let me show you up close how I'm putting the hot glue and that little spot, and then I'm gonna push it where I had already inserted it before. And that's all there is. If you're using a hot glue gun, if you're using a skillet, you just dip the stamp on the hot glue and insert it where you want it. But I always do a dry run, even if I'm doing that. So I'm going to bring more greenery because it's still missing some. So like I said, I'm winging it off, guys. It's not like I really know exactly how everything is going to go in every spot. But that's part of the fun, guys. Just, play with it, see what you like, what you don't like. And you know what? Like I said, we always start with something. We're not experts in everything right away. Like I always say, Rome wasn't made in one day, guys. So don't worry. Like if you're barely starting or if you have time with this and you still feel like you're not an expert, guys, just keep trying, keep doing it. Even if the first time you don't like how it looks, do it again and keep doing it until you like it. So don't be scared of trying new things for sure. Now it's time to bring my red flowers. I wish I can remember what's the name of them. I cannot remember. I want to say it looks like a hibiscus flower, but I'm pretty sure it's not a hibiscus flower. As you can see, this one's also have some beautiful leaves that you can push up. So I'm gonna go ahead and be using those ones. The ones with the peonies were not a pusher, the leaves of them, so I was not able to use them with with the actual flower. This one's I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter, the stem, and I'm gonna insert it right on top of that peony and seeing how it looks. So I just want to show you how I'm like, okay, that looks fine. Let me flip it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the other one on the opposite side, because you're going to hear a lot saying that, if you put it on one side, put it on the opposite side too. So it creates a balance. When you do floral arrangements, it's all about the balance and the texture and, the different lengths of everything. So once I like it, I'm going to go ahead and again, we're going to put more hot glue on it. Like I've been saying, we're using a lot of hot glue. So as you can see, the design has a little bit of an asymmetrical look, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and split the rest of the design just so you can see how I place everything. I'm almost at the end of my floral design, but I did wanted to point a few things. As you can see, I added more white flowers in between the red flower up and the pink peony on the bottom, because I want to frame them. I don't want them to be together, otherwise the colors will blend too much. And my final peony is going to be on the very top. It's not showing the same flower on the bottom. Like I was saying, I'm going for an asymmetrical look because I have more flowers on top than on the bottom. So they do say a lot that whatever you put on one side, it has to be on the other. It has to have a certain balance, but not in an asymmetrical design. Not everything has to be the same in an asymmetrical design. Actually, I made my own wedding bouquet, and it was a asymmetrical free form bouquet, and it was not a round, it was not a cascade, it was like a all over the place, but it looked really pretty. So yeah, that's an asymmetrical design for you. I like to do a lot of asymmetrical things. I think they're more natural than all like shaped the same way. So I like how it looks at this point, and I'm gonna leave this red peony here. I mean the pink peony. How do you decide what flowers to use? Let's talk a little bit about that. It depends on what design you're going for. If you're going for a very uniform design, in this case, I'm going for a variety of flowers. So I chose that red one and the pink peony because they're on the same color wheel as the reds and the pinks. And the white one is to give it some contrast and not all the flowers be the same color. Otherwise, they will get lost in your design. So when you choose colors for your flowers, you can do something more monochromatic, but always make sure that you have a lighter and a darker and a medium color. That way you create dimension on your design. The last thing I'm gonna do is to add more greenery, and that's gonna give it more texture to my design. And if you made it this far, please leave me a heart emoji. Actually, leave me a flower emoji to let me know you actually follow through the whole design and the video. And if you like my content, I want to invite you to like this video, subscribe, and follow, as that helps my channel to grow a lot. The final thing that I'm going to do is to cover the back, which shows all the foam. I could go the route of using some moss, but I decided to use this leftover green leaves that I had. That way it's going to look more natural, like the actual leaves are coming off the back of my design of my window panel. So what I just, at the beginning, I was using hot glue and it was not working, guys. So I decided to use this floral pins and just literally insert them on top of the flower, of the leaf, and put them through the flower foam. So as you can see, I'm just literally pushing the pin through the leaf into the flower foam, and that way it secures it very well rather than using the actual glue gun or the hot glue, because it was just not making enough contact on the places that I needed to. So I'm grabbing these leaves from the leftover stems that I was using, but also I keep a little bucket of leftover leaves when I don't use them from a bush of flowers that I have or whatever it is. I keep them in a little bucket because precisely for things like this that I don't know where I'm going to use them, I keep them. So using the rest of my leaves, I'm going to go ahead and push them through my floral wire, my floral foam. And this one's giving me a hard time, y'all. I even like undid a little bit of or a little bit of the foam came a little bit loose, but nothing to worry about. It was still secure enough. So when you're doing this, make sure that you grab not only the window panel or your base, but also grab your foam. Otherwise, the foam could come loose, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do that all around the spaces that you can see the floral foam. And I still have my little finger protectors because I was using the hot glue and I didn't want to burn myself, even though I did burn myself a little bit. So right here, I'm just showing you up close how I'm handling the edges, the little corners of my floral foam where it's showing. And, it's just inserting the floral pen and making sure that it's secure enough. Once I'm done covering all the parts that were exposed with the floral foam, I'm just going to go ahead and fluff my bow, make sure that all my tails are where I want them, and we're done with the design. This is the final look, guys. Look how beautiful it looks. Look how luscious and all the textures and the colors. And I like how that color combination goes with the tail of the window panel. Okay, guys. Well, this is the end of the video again. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Happy Mother's Day to all those beautiful mamas out there. And I'll see you later. Bye.